I am registered to vote, and I filled in my absentee ballot about a week ago.
I am, yes. I am registered to vote, and I'm really hoping to.
Yes.
Yes, to both.
Yes.
I am, yes.
Why do you think students on campus should care about this year's election?
I think every election's important to vote. Let your voice be heard.
I think it's really just important, no matter what side you're on, to be able to speak your voice.
And like other than the presidential election, like these elections matter just as much, if not more, because these are the people that are voting on the changes in the laws to be implemented that will directly affect you.
Well, no matter where you are, it's midterm elections, so there's a lot going on. If you're in state and like Virginia, it isn't as high stakes, but there's a lot of small stuff going on, especially with recent actions, Supreme Court, and those areas. For many people, this vote is going to be important to how legislation is put forward for the next few years.
I think that politics is a specific area where no matter how much you care about it on a personal level, politics cares about you in a way, and it's going to not affect you. So I think that you need to be civically engaged and civically involved, or else you're going to be in a situation where you're giving someone power over your life and you're giving institutions and structures power over your life.
But I think he said it best, is like, it's our future, and if we don't take the steps to be proactive about it, someone else will create a path for us that we may not like. So I think being involved is just the first step to creating your own journey and story the way you want to. To you, what is the most important issue this election season?
I touched on it already, but I would say abortion. The recent case with Mississippi Women's Health, that case which pretty much overturned Roe v. Wade, is being set down to states. If you vote for a certain political party, you're pretty much voting against the right of a woman to have control over their body. So it's very important to me that that is what's on the ballot this year.
Anything just related to human decency. I think there's a lot of people right now that aren't treated not even equally or fairly, but just treated with human decency. No matter who you are, where you're from, that you deserve to be like treated with respect. You deserve, to stand by what matters to you, and own your body, own your sexuality, own your race, anything. Just be able to be yourself, like truly and fully, and not receive backlash from somebody else telling you can't be any of those things.
I guess environmental issues are always very important to me. So that tends to be my priority.
I guess, and with recent changes, definitely reproductive rights right now.
For me, at least, this will be the first election since 2020, or the first federal election since 2020. I think in a lot of ways it'll be a referendum on Trumpism and also how the country feels about the post-2020 election. It's not specifically a policy thing as much as it is gauging the culture of the country type of thing and how we're viewing the integrity of our elections and the integrity of our institutions. So we could see a situation where maybe candidates who back up that election questioning, they don't really get seats in Congress, and that ideology can be put to rest.
I'm half Iranian American, so currently right now in Iran there's protests about women's rights. A big deal is right now in the US, you see on Instagram, people are standing up for the women over there and trying to create a case and protesting here, and that's been really important in changing the attitude over there in Iran and creating a movement and making it stronger and showing that people care. So I think electing a representative that might also care about these policies can just change in general how the world may think, not just the nation of the US.
Students might say that they're not voting this year because they feel as though their vote doesn't count. What would you say to a student?
Yeah, I have major issues with that idea. Voting only works in big amounts, but it's the old, no one's doing it, so why do I have to follow the rules thing? You should, because if you do it, there's a certain amount of momentum behind it. Furthermore, if you don't vote, I would argue that you should really shut up about politics, because you aren't bothering to use your voice in the most demonstrable way to have an effect on politics.
I mean, it doesn't. You can objectively, I guess, look at, however, hundreds of millions of votes there are, or, 150 million votes, or, whatever it is in general elections, and a much smaller number than that in smaller elections, and say, well, I'm only one small part of that. But if everybody thinks that way, then, nobody votes. So I think it's just important to kind of think of yourself as being part of something bigger than you and kind of take pride in that, as opposed to seeing it as not important.
I think in the scheme of things, my vote counts. You don't want to have the mindset that your vote doesn't count, because then that sort of idea spreads, and if a certain number of people have that idea and don't vote, then all of a sudden that like opinion doesn't matter.
Our age range definitely is very vocal and very important, and it can definitely make a difference if we all vote and not think that our vote doesn't matter. It's not important if one person does, because like you said, that mindset can spread.
Yeah, I would say I am at fault here because I haven't been very active. But my roommate off campus, last weekend, he was like, "You should care. Like, this really matters," and he wouldn't let it go. So he kept coming into like our kitchen and he kept putting like the posters for who to vote for. And we were like, "Okay, Patrick, like we'll vote." And then I realized this week like it matters and I should care, because it will have an impact.
I'll say that, so I'm a member of the freshman class, and a lot of the freshmen may remember this, but for our class president election, the first round of elections, the two leading candidates, they literally got the exact same number of votes. And then there was a runoff, and eventually the current president got elected. But in that election, literally every vote mattered because there was an exact tie. And obviously over the larger scale of states and countries, that's less likely to happen. But that goes to the point that in some way your vote does matter. I think that you need to think beyond just yourself, but also the way that you, your friends are thinking about elections and the choice and the power that you have.